Welcome, dear viewers, to an intriguing exploration of the wonders of the human mind and perception. Today, we're diving into a fascinating world, a world where what you see isn't always what you get. Yes, you've guessed it. We're talking about optical illusions. These are more than just simple tricks or mind games. They're a testament to the complex and amazing ways in which our brains interpret the world around us. So, get ready to challenge your senses as we uncover 5 mind-bending optical illusions that will play tricks on your brain. Now, imagine you're walking down a vibrant street when a mural catches your eye. It appears to be a portal to another dimension, but as you move closer, you realize it's a cleverly painted, flat surface. This is the essence of an optical illusion, a visual perception that represents reality in a distorted or misleading way. But how does this occur? Well, it all begins in the eye, the organ responsible for visual perception. The eye is incredibly intricate, composed of the cornea, pupil, lens, and the retina, which contains the light-sensitive cells that send visual messages to the brain. When light enters the eye, it's focused on the retina, where it's transformed into electrical signals that travel along the optic nerve. This is where the brain comes in, interpreting these signals to create the images we see. Optical illusions tap into this process, exploiting the ways our brain fills in gaps, discerns patterns, and makes inferences about the world. Let's delve deeper into our first optical illusion. It's called the Hermann grid, a classic example that showcases ghostly gray blobs at the intersections of a black grid on a white background. But here's the intriguing part. Those gray blobs don't actually exist. They're a creation of our visual processing. The illusion occurs because our eyes' retinal cells are stimulated differently by the light coming from different parts of the grid. The high contrast areas, specifically the intersections, trigger a neural response that generates the ghost-like spots. It's a stark reminder of how our brain strives to optimize visual processing, sometimes at the expense of precision. And as we prepare to move on to the second illusion, if you're finding this journey through visual perception fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button. Your support helps us bring more of this mind-expanding content to all our curious viewers out there. Now, let's step into the bewildering realm of motion illusions. Thank you for joining us as we continue our visual adventure. The second illusion on our list today is known as the rotating snakes. This particular illusion plays with your peripheral vision, creating the sensation of circular snakes spinning in a rhythmic dance. However, no matter how long you stare, you'll find these snakes aren't slithering anywhere. They're completely static. The effect is due to tiny eye movements we make when trying to fix our gaze. The slight variations in color, brightness, and position within the snakes trick the brain into perceiving motion where there is none. It's a clear demonstration of the brain's tendency to infer motion from patterns, even when the details are unmoving. These involuntary eye movements, called saccades, are normally unnoticed, but are essential for refreshing the image on our retina and preventing visual fading. The rotating snakes illusion manipulates these saccades, turning them into a playful experience that questions our perception of motion and challenges our grasp on reality. Moving on, we encounter the strange and bewildering AMS Room Illusion. In an AMS room, something peculiar happens. People or objects will appear to grow or shrink as they move across the space. This illusion is constructed through a room that is a cunningly crafted trapezoid, viewed through a peephole that makes it appear rectangular. Because our brains have learned to interpret rooms as rectangular, we try to fit what we see into this familiar framework. The ceiling and floor are actually on an incline, and the left and right corners of the room are not equidistant from the viewing point, but through the peephole. These distortions are hidden. What results is a grand deception where dippeth perception, and scale are thrown into disarray, proving how context can heavily influence our visual interpretation. Now, if your brain hasn't melted just yet, why not deepen your understanding? Go ahead and comment down below if you've encountered any of these illusions, or share an example you think could stump even the keenest observer. Engaging with our community not only fuels the discussion, but also helps you get the most out of this content. Gearing up for our fourth optical spectacle, let's discuss the Kanitsa triangle. This illusion consists of black circles with pie-shaped cuts and lines arranged in such a way that one sees a white equilateral triangle doesn't exist. Our brain fills in the gaps to create contours, shaping a sharp, defined triangle from ambiguous cues. This illustrates the principle of reification, where our brain adds missing elements to complete a picture. As we move to wrap up this part, and before we unveil the final mind-bending illusion, remember to take a moment to hit the subscribe button. Stay connected with us for more intriguing topics that stretch your perceptions and challenge your thinking. Now, prepare yourself to encounter the last, but certainly not the least, of our optical illusions. This is not merely a visual feat, but a journey into the unseen complexities of perception and cognitive processes. A reminder that sometimes our own minds hold the most impressive illusions of them all. We can't wait to share what's next, right after this fascinating dive into how illusions can broaden our understanding of the human mind. Our final illusion for today is known as the Ebbing house illusion, also frequently referred to as the Titchener circles. This puzzling visual trick involves a pair of identical circles, each surrounded by a series of other circles. One is encircled by larger circles, while the other is encircled by smaller ones. The remarkable thing about this illusion is that even though the central circles are the same size, your brain will insist that they're not. The one surrounded by smaller circles appears larger, and the one surrounded by larger circles seems smaller. This phenomenon is due to the way our minds interpret relative size. Our brains are wired to assess the size of objects in context to their surrounding environment. This heuristic, while usually helpful in our daily lives, leads us astray in the peculiar setup of the Ebbing house illusion. The Ebbing house illusion is a powerful example of how context can skew our perception of the absolute. It reveals our brain's reliance on the rest of the visual scene to determine the size of individual elements. Interestingly, studies have found that while human adults are typically fooled by this illusion, very young children and animals are not. This suggests that our susceptibility to certain optical illusions might be learned rather than innate, a result of our brain developing cognitive shortcuts to quickly make sense of our complex world. As we conclude our exploration of these 5 mind-bending optical illusions, it's clear that they offer much more than momentary confusion or entertainment. They touch on the essence of how we perceive and interpret reality, laying bare the intricate processes behind even the simplest act of seeing. The study of optical illusions not only fascinates but also paves the way for a deeper understanding of sensory perception, cognitive functions, and even the nature of consciousness itself. Optical illusions are a vivid reminder that reality isn't always as it appears to be, and that our brains play an active role in painting the picture of the world we see before us. They challenge us to question and appreciate the complex machinery of perception that hums silently behind the curtain of our awareness, shaping every moment of our visual experience. And so, we leave you pondering the marvels of the mind and the quirks of perception. If you've been mesmerized by these optical deceptions and want to stay tuned for more insights into the curiosities of our world, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Never miss a chance to discover something that stirs your thoughts and perspectives. We hope that this journey through illusions has not only entertained, but also enlightened you, offering a glimpse into the profound and puzzling nature of visual perception. Thank you for joining us. And remember, keep looking beyond the surface. For sometimes, what's hidden from immediate view offers the richest insights into the wonders of our reality. And with that, we draw the curtains on today's topic. What will our eyes and minds reveal to us next time? Stay curious, and we'll discover together.